Amberlynn Reed, the woman who left one of her cats in another state to die in the cold and the snow, has acquired another pet. I'd planned to ignore her for a little while longer. Her recent live streams have been so insufferably dull that even I couldn't manufacture interest. There's just nothing there. No content, no substance, no opportunity to make it even remotely entertaining. But her situation with her pets is just so revolting that I have to talk about it. Because this is Amberlynn Reed, it started with a lie. What's new? She claimed she didn't have a new kitten. A soft, smug denial. But then it revealed itself, the newest addition to a household already drowning in neglected animals. She didn't announce this new life entering her home. She concealed it. She lied. So that in itself is the confession. She knew it was wrong, but she did it anyway. This isn't her first animal. This isn't a second. It's not even her third. Like I said, her last cat was abandoned in another state in the snow. Left behind, exiled like trash while she played the victim. People should not let her rewrite that history just because she doesn't feel like being held accountable anymore. She rarely shows these animals. It's as if the camera itself is recoiling from the conditions she makes them live in. We know it's just because she's too lazy to get up off the couch, and it's also because she knows that we know how she treats them and how they live. Litter boxes overflowing, food bowls so full they spill over. It's just unhygienic. And now there's another one to join them. Another innocent life sentenced to her neglect. Even the dog is obese and perpetually anxious. But saying that, it's been, weeks, months since we've seen Twinkie? She's just vanished. And Amberlynn, as always, provides no reassurance, no updates, no nothing. Doesn't her apartment have a pet limit? We know she doesn't respect boundaries, so she's either keeping Twinkie unnaturally silent or she's handed her off like unwanted furniture to her mother. That is the kind of pet owner that she is. But why the secrecy of the new kitten? She cried when it was revealed on the stream. It wasn't with joy, it wasn't with pride, it was something else. She said she was tired of people invading her life, but I think she's crying because she was caught in the act, undone by her own lack of planning and forced to admit the truth before she was ready to craft a lie convincing enough. It won't be long before she's saying that this cat, Romeo, is obsessed with her, that it follows her around, that it loves her so much like all her other animals do. But let's be honest, Romeo doesn't know better. He doesn't know what love is. He only knows what proximity is. What dependence feels like. He only knows what it means to be born into a cage and told it's home. And so this is the morbid and probably cruel truth that I know a lot of us are thinking. I genuinely hope that Romeo outlives her. Not because I wish death on anyone. I don't need to. Nature has a schedule. But I hope he outlives her because that may be the only way that this kitten is going to experience freedom. A real home, a clean space, regular meals and actual affection, not attention filtered through the lens of performative pity. Amberlynn is not capable of caring for these animals. Not physically, not emotionally, not ethically. She has never proven herself to be the giver of life, only as a collector of dependence. She doesn't adopt, she acquires. And what she acquires, she withers. She should have said no to another cat. But of course, she can't say no. To food, to impulse, to lies, to another living creature she's wholly unqualified to care for. It is disgustingly irresponsible to accept ownership of a fragile, curious kitten while you're practically immobile. That's not even just my opinion, that is a fact. She can't chase after it, she can't intervene if something goes wrong, and God forbid the poor thing climbs into bed with her or ends up under her feet. The risks are horrifying. She just wants to possess something else that can't leave her, something that depends on her, but love and possession are not the same thing. She doesn't love them, she loves having them, and that distinction makes all the difference in the world. What's so cruelly unfair and fundamentally heartbreaking is that her pets never chose this. They don't get to leave. They don't get to weigh up their options. They're prisoners in a home run by chaos, where their physical needs are barely met and their emotional needs are barely acknowledged. Pets thrive on structure, care, attention, not on whims or impulse buys disguised as compassion. They need clean spaces, healthy food in proper amounts, medical care, interaction. Instead, they get this woman who can barely manage her own hygiene, let alone the requirements of a multi-pet household. I think that she thought this would be her redemption arc. The grieving cat mother, the loving new pet owner. She thought that she could distract the audience with a new pair of paws and whiskers. But it hasn't worked. She hasn't gotten the sympathy for losing Rarity, and no one clutched their chest and awed at Romeo. Instead, we just see the pattern and people are calling it what it is. She can pretend all she wants, but that mask has long since slipped. The real Amberlynn is the one who abandons her cats in the snow, the one whose dog trembles with fear, the one who neglects, manipulates, acquires, and discards. This is more than just drama and content. These are living, breathing creatures trapped in Amberlynn Reid's cycle of negligence. Irresponsible is not a strong enough word to describe Amberlynn Reid with her pets. Now, I don't condone touching the mess, I don't support mob justice or getting involved in people's lives, but I will say this, and I say it plainly, I hope someone, anyone, intervenes, because these animals deserve to be rescued. They deserve clean floors, open space, hands that reach for them without ulterior motives. They deserve to be wanted, but more than that, they deserve to be cared for.